Hi, what I'm going to do is do some reviews on the guitars from the 60s. This is a 1963 Gretsch Country Gentleman. And what made this guitar was so famous was back in 1964, George Harrison with the Beatles played this on the Ed Sullivan Show. It's a Chet Atkins model, which Chet Atkins was a big country picker in the 50s and early 60s. And the first thing you got to know about Gretches is, and I think it's the most important thing, is that all Gretches and all instruments in those days were played through tube amplifiers. And the only thing you had was reverb and a little tremolo. Other than that, that was the only effects you had. There was no equalizer pedals, there was no distortion pedals, there was no overdrives. You just played, put it right in the amp, and you played it that way. And I still do that to this day. When you wanted to equalize your Gretsch, you'd get a screwdriver and you'd keep adjusting every string until you got it exactly where you wanted it. And how the old timers would play a Gretsch like I was taught. When you're playing your rhythm, you play here, and you play your leads back here. And that's how I was taught to play a Gretsch. Gretches has an on and off switch, which I like a lot, and there was no tone controls. Everything was straight out. You have a tone switch, and to make it a little more, I call it muddier. Ryan Setzer would call it muddier. This is your master volume, and this volume is for this pickup, and this is for this pickup. That's your two volumes. You have your selector switch right here. That would be for the back pickup. That would be for the front pickup. Also, Gretches were considered the showboat guitars of the 60s. And because they didn't have effects or pedals, what they would do is put these little gizmos in, flip-up mutes, which muted your strings, which I don't think anybody ever used that. And on the back you have your back pad, which is good. You could always rip it out. And guys would shove socks and everything inside your instrument to keep it from feeding back. They came out with these pickups. They're what they call humbucker pickups. And a humbucker pickup, before that they all had single coils. And it'd be one single coil. But when you take the humbucker pickup and you turn it the other way, it would cancel a lot of the hum. And back in the 60s and the 70s, when you went into these bars to play, they had neon lights. The guitar would always be buzzing, it'd be humming. The grounds were no good. Guys were always getting shocked. And but back in 1964, this was one of the most famous guitars, or one of the biggest guitars you could own. Gretsch didn't kind of keep up with the pedal and the pickup stuff, because instruments were going into transistor modes, and they sold out the Baldwin, I think, in '71 or something, and then the company closed. Well, they're remaking Gretches today, and I've played them, and I think they're just as good as the old ones. If you get a Gretsch from the 60s and you get a Gretsch from 2010, to me they sound exactly the same. I don't see a difference. So I think I told you everything I can. This is about 95% original, I think. I think they changed the knob to somebody down in the past. But that's the Gretsch right there, you can see it. And 1963 Gretsch Country Gentleman. This is a 1969 Gretsch Tennessean Chet Atkins model. It's all original. The knob's got a little plastic by 1969. But basically the whole Gretsch is the same. There isn't anything much different on here in the Country Gentleman except for the tuners. There's no back pad, and they used a single coil pickup. And the Country Gent had humbuckers. But a single coil pickup only has one pickup here and the magnets on the side. The difference between a single coil and a humbucker is single coils are a lot more clearer. You get a real clear sound with a single coil pickup. But they're basically all the same. And if you want to know a lot about Gretsches and you're a Gretsch freak, it's a good idea to get this book by J. Scott Gretsch, The Guitars of the Fred Gretsch Company. Tell you everything you really need to know about them, what the serial numbers are and everything. But that's it. And the same thing, if you wanted to equalize your guitar, you'd put the screwdriver into your pickups and you'd adjust your pickup until you got your guitar sounding exactly like you wanted it. So that's it, a 1969 Gretsch Tennessean. This is a Gretsch, it's a 6120 Chet Atkins model. And it's the same as the Country Gentleman. It has the humbucker pickups, basically. It only has one mute, which they never really worked. And one other thing I want to say about Gretsch's is because they came from the acoustic era into these kind of guitars, if you use a real thin string, it always seems to be out of tune. You got to use like a medium string or above. Another thing is when you used to tune your guitar in the old days, because you didn't have tuning fork, that would be your A. If you didn't have a keyboard player or pitch pipe, that's how you tune your guitar. And that's it. It's basically all the same. It has the back pad in the back if you want to get in on the inside of it. And that's a 1966 6120. This is a 1964 Gretsch Country Gentleman guitar. The difference between the 62s, 63s, which were the same model, and the 64s were they came with a Supertron pickup. Something looks like that, but there's no pole pieces on it. I wasn't crazy about the sound because it didn't have pole pieces, you couldn't adjust it and equalize your guitar. So I replaced it with a single coil pickup, and I get that in between sound. And so I just kept it that way. I broke the neck years ago. Gretsch had a policy, this has 1963 tuners on it, they just used their product until they ran out and then they changed things. The only thing I have working on the whole guitar is my on-off switch and my volume control. I didn't need anything else because I just played the guitar flat. Because I play banjo and fiddle, Gretsch kind of fits with that kind of sound. It has the same thing, there's not much difference except the color and the tuners. But that's a 1964 Gretsch. I also always drill a little hole and I pin my piece here so the intonation don't go out, and I mark it when I change my strings. So that's it, it's a Gretsch 1964. It's a guitar I play out 90% of the times. Now this is a Gretsch, it's a Rally. It was built in 1970. All the parts I have on this are pieces from other guitars. I use this if someone calls me up and say I'm playing in the middle of a farmer's field on a wet day or something. But all the pickups and Gretches are basically sound the same. I don't like this because of the Supertron I put in it. It don't matter, it depends on what kind of music you're playing and when. I think I told you everything I can about Gretches. If you're a Gretsch freak, it's always good to get a book like this, and you understand about shielding your guitars and how your pickups work. And once you understand your instruments, like being a mechanic on a car. This one has the hollow body in it, and they kind of got away from that because of the feedback and everything those problems would cause in the 60s. So I think I told you everything I can about Gretches, and that's it.